One.
That was good.
Well, we are here, and we are here to address the allegations.
What are the allegations?
My allegations against you.
Which are what?
You know what you did.
I didn't do anything.
You did it, and you should be ashamed.
And if I did do it, who cares?
And I'll be making a video about this.
And what is the title of the video?
My side of the story. Peru.
0 views. No one cares.
Girl, let me just say, townspeople, you're in for an episode because it's charged, and I feel like it's going to be one of the few episodes that's going to be super topical and super about something. You know?
It's super about something.
Super
for
about
sure.
No, I really want the title of them to be like addressing the allegations. No, addressing Austin Wolf, because we have to talk about it all. But there's
no. What is it? What is it? What is the phrase when it's like you're sending them out to the wolves or something? We could be like, it could be like a play on that.
Letting them out on the wolf gang. Oh,
well, no, not that.
Not that.
We're not that.
We will try our best to keep it entertaining and in the puns department. But first and foremost, hi, I'm Pioneer Peru.
I'm Trailblazer Nick,
and this is Pioneers and Trailblazers. So you know what? Before we get going, we're going to start with shout-outs because y'all are amazing and we love our townspeople. So let's go to shout-outs and some quick town halls that all of you sent out. You're going to have to go to the archived.
Oh, like
stories, yeah, because it's on the prompt thing.
How does one go to their archive stories?
Oh my god. Okay, boomer.
Oh, here we go.
There you go. He found it. Nick found the woman in STEM.
Women in STEM. Wait, do we have any responses?
Yes, here.
Oh, okay, go.
Idiot.
Okay, wow. There's a lot. Okay, cool.
Okay, we're gonna go one by one, and then there's also a couple on DM. We want to get to everyone because you all. I want to reward all of you for participating and interacting with us, and you know.
Okay, so shout out to Raj ZX Art, shouting out from India.
Hi, India.
Hi, India. Shout out to Jermaine Becerra, listening from LA.
Hey, LA.
Shout out to Aaron Easton, listening from Windsor, Ontario, across the river from Detroit.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow.
That was in parentheses.
A geography lesson, really.
Shout out from Dan Gilagogo. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. From San Diego. Says he loves the pod.
Haven't been, would love to.
Oh my god, I would love. I've never been to California. Shout out to Connor Lloyd, listening from South Africa. Such a big fan of the pod. It's so funny, and I love you guys.
Okay, South Africa.
Shout out to _J.MCL27 _ I'm Scottish. I watch from Glasgow. You guys are hot.
Well, Scottish townsperson, send us a voice message. We need to hear your voice. Listen, I love a fucking Scottish accent. It's hot.
No, it is.
And if you think you were hot, then send us a fucking voice memo.
Shout out to, I don't know how to, Ansu.hw, listening from London town.
Hello, governor.
We also have shout out from Juju Jules, San Antonio townsperson here.
Juju Jules.
And then there is a question, but I'll get to those in a second. And then we have shout out to Ann17 Ria. Hi, shout out from a townsperson, another one from Los Angeles that loves y'all very much.
Wow, we're really becoming LA girls.
No, we are. Oh, and then we have a shout out from Chicago from HNDEZ _86.
Love it. Thank you to all. I really will. During hiatus, I really feel like I want to build a map.
There is a question why you guys going on hiatus.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, if you have been listening to the podcast, you may or may not know the rumors are true.
We have said explicitly.
We're going on hiatus after episode 52, not to leave forever, but just to regroup,
come back with season 2. We want to do, have new visuals. We want to kind of hopefully be recording in a nicer space with better equipment.
And listen, can I say something about that too? Is that while I was thinking about studio, I feel like a lot of the feedback that we've gotten from the townspeople is that one of the main things they love is how it feels like they're on FaceTime with their girlies.
For sure.
And I feel like a lot of that has to do with us just being in our rooms. So I feel like I wouldn't be opposed to even continuing being in our spaces because
for sure, just better equipment.
It's us, just better equipment, and obviously, having someone finance that equipment would be lovely.
If anybody out there wants to be a patron to the arts, please let us know.
If you want to be, no questions asked, inducted in the town council, please, if you have any extra money to spare and you want to donate sound equipment for all of those of you who continue to cringe every time we pop our peas.
We'll put our Venmos in the description of the episode.
Or to be real, if you do feel like you have extra cash flow, you want to sponsor this podcast just yourself, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
We'd love to show you out, and if it makes everything better sound for everyone. The visuals are already there because we're what? Stunning.
Right, of course. I mean, we're always gonna have that.
We're gonna have that, so no worries for the visual learners.
I mean, looks may fade for some of us. I'm not gonna name names, but
wow,
maybe my co-host sister. But
no,
some of us,
as they know, my fucking skin is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did the bouncer at Flaming Saddles look at your ID and go, "Oh wow, you're a baby"?
Listen, let's get back to the fucking. You know what? We're not gonna go there yet.
Just yet. Okay, we'll come back to that. So the questions that we have from Spyro Shadich. I don't know how to pronounce.
Oh, wait, I've seen them before. He pops up, or they pop up a lot. I think they're a Greek person.
Well, their question is favorite coffee order.
Oh, cold brew, no milk, simple syrup. I don't like any of the I don't like people that do like vanilla simple syrup or like caramel simple. Just like regular simple syrup. Dose me up because I love a sweet as fuck cold brew, but no milk.
I always get the same thing when I go to Dunkin'. I just get an ice cold brew with a splash of oat milk and unsweetened vanilla. Because I need to cut down the sugar intake, and which I did, and I have cut down my sugar. Thank you so much for the unsweetened.
Sure.
And I love it. But recently they do have a deal because I love the Dunkin' app because the deals on there.
You work for Dunkin' Donuts.
Please if you want to sponsor me, please. I would do.
Or even if you work at Dunkin' Donuts and you want to give Nick a gift card
or a discount code or something, I'll show puss. I don't give a fuck. I go there every day.
Full puss.
I go there every day. I literally go there every day. At this point, it's like they don't even have to they just, if I don't order on the app ahead of time, I walk in, they already are getting the order ready for me. It's that serious.
No, if he misses a day for some reason, they're like, oh my god, what happened to you yesterday?
They're like, oh my god, what?
The National Guard came.
Yeah, and then because I always get a muffin too because I need a sweet treat just to get through my work shift, and so I always get a muffin, a coffee cake muffin to go with it. And
and y'all, every time niggas like, yeah, I want a treat, but I'm like, a treat is a special. It doesn't happen often. You're treating yourself every day.
And what was it from Parks and Rec? Treat yourself. That sometimes you just. To get through, the world is so dark these days. Okay, so sometimes you just need to treat yourself. Okay, so
it's so really quick. Sorry, but I'm not a person that drinks cold brew during the winter. When it's cold, I love a hot coffee.
Oh no, I'll drink iced coffee all year round.
Oh yeah, not really. No.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. If I just will put on a mitten to hold the cup because it's chilly.
I'm an adult for once.
We can tell. Just kidding. Okay, so then someone also asked, do you guys have a central gay bar scene there? Boys Town here is down with the gays. There's a couple
that's
of
Chicago, no?
Yeah, that's the Chicago townsperson. I mean, we have a couple, Hell's Kitchen is a big one, the West Village, Bushwick.
Okay, leave it to the one that goes out. Okay, so there is Hell's Kitchen, obviously, for mostly muscly trunks and muscly top.
It depends. It depends on what you're looking for vibe.
Yeah. So the Hell's Kitchen is very much just imagine circuit parties
Imagine a world like that.
West Village is where Stonewall is and where Julius is, iconic. Smaller bars. There's Monster. There's the Duplex and there's Playhouse now and Pieces. So that's West Village gay. Then there's Williamsburg for the Williamsburg gays who are in advertising and they think they're cool but they're still dress the same. So I guess the equivalent for circuit party gays in Brooklyn is the Williamsburg girlies, and it's the Animal now, which is a hot spot, and what the fuck
Macri Park is there.
Metropolitan, iconic dive bar, and then the fuck
which one?
Animal and
the Exley?
The Exley.
That's your favorite place to go too.
I know, just keep forgetting. I love
how do you forget?
Metro. So yeah,
and then in Brooklyn,
Bushwick.
Yeah, there's Bushwick. There's Happy Fun Hideaway is a more kind of, the deeper you go into Bushwick, the more kind of just queer overall.
Well, everything is,
so it's just kind of a blanket. So it's all kinds of people. There's singers, which is in Bed-Stuy.
Which I keep telling Miss Nick, let's go to singers together because Miss Nick is too afraid to go alone.
I'm not too afraid to go alone. It's just that
That's literally what you told me. You're I'm afraid to go alone.
I mean, yeah, I'm afraid to go to a bar alone to any bar alone.
Sign me up.
But yeah. So anyway, and then the last question that we have is y'all's least fave zodiac sign to be romantically involved with. I've been done dirty by many a Libra. That it will be that
have been spoken about on this podcast.
Yeah, I've talked about them. It's Libra, and then
Libra was the person who famously didn't pay for Nick's coffee after the movie.
No, that's not. He wasn't a Libra.
He wasn't a Libra.
No, he's Gemini.
He was giving Libra.
He's Gemini.
No, okay.
No. I've the ones that have been like so like that one. Whatever. That was just annoying. The ones that have been like earth shattering, where it's like I've been in a deep depression afterwards for like weeks or even months, have been Libras. There was a Libra. I probably mentioned this on the pod a while ago, but we're good now. Like, we're friends. But there was a period of time where there's this guy that I was like I couldn't tell what the vibe was, because the very first time we hung out, like, we had met through Grindr. He lived in my neighborhood. I went over to his apartment, like, kind of like a date, kind of like a hookup. I don't really know. Like, we like hung out for like a really long time and then ended up having sex. The sex was just kind of like awkward and wasn't that great, and it was really quick, and then it was done, and like I didn't finish. But then we just like, kept hanging out afterwards, and we would like go out. We would go out to like dinner and stuff, and do different things. And he'd come to my place, I go to his place. We'd spend the night, snuggle, sleep together, whatever. And then there was one night where he came to my apartment drunk as fuck. Like, he texted me. It was like maybe like 2 a.m, and he was like, "Can I come over? Like, I'm like by your place." And I was like, "Okay." I buzz him in. He like stumbles up into my 5th floor walk up, and then he gets to the door, and I have to like basically kind of carry him and put him on my couch. And then he just kind of starts rambling and being like, "I don't think we could ever be devoted to each other." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, I just don't think he's like, "I don't think we could be devoted to it." And it was like really like kind of emotional. And I was like, "What's going on?" We get into my bed, fall asleep. Like 2 hours later, he wakes up and he's like, "I have to go." And I was like, "What?" At that point, it was maybe 4 or 5 a.m. And I was like, "Wait until the sun comes out." And he goes, No, I gotta go now. I gotta go. And then he just gets up and leaves. And then
another guy using you as a fucking free hotel.
No, and mind you, he lived like 3 blocks away.
Oh.
Like, he was like,
damn, he must have been that drunk. He was like, "I can't walk the extra 3
No,
blocks."
I think he just wanted to like see me. Like, anyway, we're good friends now. He fully has a boyfriend that he's been with for like years now, and whatever, and we're like fine. But it was just such an interesting experience. But I cried over that man so many times. But we're good now. We're good.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's good to make amends.
It is, yeah.
For me, I honestly feel like, another Aries can be like, because I'm an Aries, so like another Aries can be really, really tricky, because they're also like very much like impulsive, and like I need someone who can balance me. But I typically like, not that they've done me dirty, but like the experiences I've had with Cancers have always started great, because it's a good balance. And I'm also found out I'm a Cancer. What am I? A Cancer moon or a Cancer rising?
Wait, I have your birth chart. 1 second.
Pull it up. But so I have Cancer in me. Like when behind closed.
You have Cancer in you.
Cancer in me. Oh my God, come Cancer. Title of it.
No, maybe not that. Yeah. A Aries Sun, Scorpio Moon, Cancer Rising.
I'm a Cancer Rising, and the Cancer Rising is like in private, right? Like how I am alone. Isn't that it?
Your ascendant is like how other people perceive you.
That doesn't make sense to me. Like, people perceive me as an Aries, or I'm perceived as a Cancer.
Yeah, I mean, like it's how you kind of present to the world is basically how
I present diva.
Yeah, and I will say, like, your Aries is probably because like your Aries is your sun is strongly aspected more than your rising. But I'm a Virgo.
Aspect.
But I'm a Virgo rising. Well, no, I would say your Cancer comes out when someone says something and you're like, "What do you mean by that?" Like, you take things like kind of personally very quickly, which is like a very Cancer thing, like very emotional.
Yeah, it's very emotional, but I guess in the way that I present it is like clearly comes from an emotional place, but it's charged. So even though like I'll get on the defensive, like, because I used to date this Cancer who like everything would be like kind of like it would be emotional, but like in confrontation it would always just be like sad and mopey and just very and that's why I always see Cancers. I'm just like, this used to be a great balancing act between like you leveling me down and me hyping you up and like getting you out of your shell or whatever. But then ultimately with Cancers, I feel like it always ends up being like too, like, because I'm emotional too, and then like when they get emotional, I'm like, no, wait, like, stop, like, I want to be emotional, not you.
Well,
like,
everyone should be allowed to experience their emotions fully.
I guess whatever, but I guess that's what I would say. And then I also, maybe even not romantically so, but the few people that I haven't gotten along with have always been Scorpios.
Oh,
They always like are sassy with me or try to dim my shine or like try to like be kiki with me, like thinking they're being funny, and I'm just like, who the fuck are you? I don't fucking know you. Just met you. Fuck off.
wow. No, I have a lot of Scorpios in my life. I have a lot of
Well, don't bring them near me.
What else? I have a lot of Capricorns in my life. I'm a Capricorn. I have a lot of I'm trying to think.
Do you have a lot of Aries in your life?
No, but I will say my ex, like my only kind of like real ex, who from college, he was an Aries, but he didn't act like an Aries at all. Like he was very, I don't know, very timid. Like just like never like took the lead, and that's why I didn't really think that I knew that the relationship was gonna go anywhere further than what it did, because I was like, I don't want to have to be in charge the whole time. I don't like this.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, and then I have like one of my closest is a Taurus. I have a lot of Gemini. Gemini is a big one in my life too.
Gemini.
But but my midheaven's in Gemini. So like.
Okay, we're getting carried away.
Okay, anyway.
So
let's just talk about Pride now.
Yeah. Anyway, wait, no. Should we go into Pride and then go into like because I want to tell you.
Well, let's do Pride first.
Let's do Pride. Let's keep it brief because like I really want to dissect something with you that's gonna get serious.
Oh God.
And that will lead into the Austin Wolf of it all, because I think it's all kind of related. Okay. But I really want to dive deep into that conversation because it's crazy what I encountered today. But sure, let's discuss Prize.
I thought it was yesterday that you encountered it.
What?
I thought it was yesterday.
No, it was today. I texted you today.
Oh,
that was today.
Oh,
early in the morning.
What?
When I woke up before going back to bed.
Oh, that was this morning. Yeah, because I was awake already. I was getting ready for the gym.
I was like awake, and like, you know, like when you wake up but not fully wake up, and you're like, I think I want to go back to bed, but then I just wanted to rub one out real quick.
That never happens to me.
Oh, I'm just like, wait, like I want to go back to bed, but let me just jerk off and like make myself tired again.
No, if I wake up and I'm tired, I want to go back to bed, I will just go back to bed. I will just close my eyes. I had such a strange dream. But what happened in it? I had a really weird dream last night, but I can't remember what it was. It will. But anyway, Pride
was fun. It was actually great weather up until it started raining.
Sunday, yeah.
But it was fine. Like, we started at the Garret in the West Village, which was really cute. It was town council members Robert and Alex. And then met up with Nick after he got out of work, and then we went to Soho House. Now,
it's such a dark place.
It's not a dark place.
It is.
No, and by the way, let me say, if my friend Austin, who is someone I know from Soho House, thank you so much for getting us in.
No, thank you so much. It was so funny when we were in the lobby, like, and you were talking to the front desk people, being like, "I'm on the list," and then like the girl, I don't know if she like was having trouble like looking you up or finding the your name or whatever, like whatever list you were mentioning. Me, Alex, and Robert were like, just watch. We didn't get on the list, or like we didn't, or like whatever. We're all like joking, like watch us have to like all walk out and like leave. And we're like, honestly, not the worst thing that could happen. We're like, well, we'll just go to Flaming Saddles then.
But girl, you guys are all because you guys don't have the courage that I have and just the complete audacity to just like. I was already told that we were on the list by my dear friend Austin. Thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
And always been really, I've been able to go to Soho House plenty of times for some parties and great events. And so last year I went to Soho House with a couple of friends, and Sasha Colby performed. We missed her because we got her a little late. So then this year I knew somebody was going to, and it was going to be Plain Jane. And then somebody else, which apparently performed later.
Shea Coulee ended up performing.
So yeah, all of the people performed after we left. Like, they all waited until the weather subsided, I guess.
Yeah, but the videos that I saw of the performances, like, basically it was empty there by that time. Like, everyone had left.
But I mean, either way, so the audacity for the three of you to doubt my efforts, like, of course my girl isn't gonna be like socially anxious and just being like, oh no, Peru didn't get us on the list. Bitch, it wouldn't have mattered if I was or was not on the list. We were gonna get in, and guess what? We did.
Yeah, we got the wristband.
And also, guess what? I had texted him to add the person. Because we only had whatever, and we had it to wait. It was me. It was one of us. And so then she was like, "Wait, I don't see the third name that he added."
Oh, and that's when we were like, "Oh."
Yeah, she was like, "Wait, I see this," and I was like, "Wait, no, there should be another one." And then that's when I showed her my phone, and probably that's when you probably asked her phone. She's like, "Wait."
Yeah, that's when we were like, "Oh, we're not gonna get in."
No, but then she was like, "Oh, it's okay," and then I was like, "Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Because we're the stars.
So anyway, we get to Soho House, and it's a rooftop situation, and it's pouring down rain. So like, there's only half of the roof is covered, and so then like, it's all of these faggots who are like ripped beyond belief, shirtless, and then most of them are in swimsuits, speedos, whatever, because they have a giant ass pool on this roof, and
then imagine like a show where like the camera pans across the entire pool at Soho House. So there's all these shirtless, mostly white gay men, and the camera pans like it's us walking in.
and you have me wearing like a bicycle uniform basically, and like I'm dressed like so like Bushwick twink, and then we have Robert who is wearing a fucking Mario Kart t-shirt. Just a Mario t-shirt.
It was a princesses.
Mario princesses.
I suggested to him because I was like, let's be gay, like that's the gay shirt. We keep going.
And then really the only one, and then what were you wearing?
I was giving like biker, like my fucking Doc Marten boots, black shorts, and then my homosexual tendencies.
Oh yeah,
t-shirt.
and then really the only one that kind of fit in was like Alex. Who was wearing just like a white tank and like black shorts
and
or whatever,
his
fanny pack, which was like if anyone was wearing like clothing at this event, that was the uniform basically. And so then it was just so overwhelming because it's packed to the brim. Like walking in, you had to like push through people.
Well, also you're forgetting to mention that like as soon as we were walking to enter Soho House, it started sprinkling. So then it wasn't just like people were. It wasn't that it was just busy, but it was like a lot of people started congregating by the bar area, which is right next to the pool, because it started raining. Mm-hmm. So literally, we were just like trying to get through.
And you missed it because it was. So then we at a point, so we get drinks. So we go to the bar, we get our drinks. And the bartender, I literally looked and I was like, "Is that Chaperone?" Because it was
she was like the Latina Chaperone.
Well, because from behind she was wearing like a straw-looking cowboy hat, and she had big wavy red hair. She kind of lived for it, I'm sure.
Yes,
because Alex said the same thing. Because I was like, "Is that Chaperone?" Like making a joke, and he was like, "I just said the same thing." And then she like looked at us and she like smiled, and I was like, "Okay, she lives."
Yeah. Guess what? Of course, because I sensed my girls, had already had like an anxious moment downstairs. We get in there and like we're trying to vibe. I completely have forgotten the element of the pool, which I was just like, well, we're gonna be going out all day. I didn't want to have to like bring a change of clothes or like wear like a.
And there was no way I was gonna get into a swimsuit at that event in front of those people.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but it was just like I was trying to get everyone to just we had been drinking already at the Garret. Nick had just come from work,
so I was stone cold sober.
My concern was like, okay. We got in there and I didn't tell you this, but I was looking at you and I was like, okay, I need to make sure that Nick feels comfortable as soon as possible. Because I was like, and we later discussed, like, is that your kind of scene?
No.
But I was like, we're here, like, it is, at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie and say, like, it is fun to just say, like, you were able to get in a Soho House and do something like that. It's fun to just be able to be like, hey, I was there.
I was telling the group, it was like.
That you hated it?
No, I was like, this is like watching Animal Planet.
It is.
Like, it is.
Yeah, Fagnimo Planet.
I wish, to be quite honest, like, if I had a superpower and I could be invisible and just like be a fly on the wall and just observe, like I could do that for hours, but because people could see me and I wasn't gonna be like staring being like, wow, these like faggots are just crazy, because everyone's on drugs, everyone's either drunk, on drugs, like
also it's pride, so you gotta give it a little bit of credit, they're just having fun. You're just like, okay,
they were having so much fun, but it was just like the kind of fun that it was a little bit performative.
Of course, it wasn't all like they're all trying to not even dance. Like the most dancing is like everyone's shirtless and they're doing this, the go-go dancing.
Well, and they're all looking
really dancing,
and they're all looking around because they're trying to cruise at the same time,
hard.
And it's just like it's so funny. But then so
I get the drinks. Of course, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the drinks. I gotta get these drinks because I brought my girls here, so I was like, at least I'll get the round of drinks here because I want to make sure that they feel good being here. We'll have one drink. If we're not vibing anymore, we'll just
go,
leave, And if the rain doesn't stop, we'll just, I guess because it was $133 for 4 vodka sodas. 2 tequila sodas and 2 vodka sodas. When I saw that tab,
that's with tip.
A little with tip.
Okay.
A little tear left my eye.
That is just like so crazy.
And I was just like, oh, I remember. Anytime I come here, I'm here with another member who usually picks up the tab, and I'm fine to just go out later and do something cheaper. Mm-hmm. But I never really consider like what the tabs are there, which is reason one why I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna sip these drinks and we're gonna enjoy our time here. We are, and that's when I was determined. I was like, oh, we are enjoying our time here in this drink, because Lord knows we're not buying another
$30 a drink. That's like so crazy. So then we got our drinks, and then Peru and Alex were like, oh, we want to go out the outdoor area, like, oh, they're like, the rain stopped, so they like go out, and then me, oh no, we also had Thomas. There was 5 of us.
Oh yeah, which is why, yeah, Thomas, oh my god, so sorry, but he doesn't listen.
But there was 5 of us, so there was 5 of us, and then Alex and Peru went outside to go take a look at the pool and like ogle at the boys, and then
we went to go pee, but we really just wanted to like check it out.
Yeah, so then the 3 of us stayed under where it was dry, and I looked to my left, and who do I see but none other than a man who tried to I went to his apartment at one point in time when I was in college. He was fully on meth. He was like, and then basically tried to lock me in his apartment, and I was like, oh, how am I gonna get out of here? I think I'm gonna get murdered. Turns out he's very wealthy and very well connected in the city. Scary. But he didn't see me. No, he didn't see me. He's also a VIP at the restaurant that we work at, and I'm also just like crazy. But then anyway, he didn't see me, and I was like, thank fucking God. Also, I don't think he would have recognized me anyway, because my hair is different. So like, and also he was on meth. And then later on in the evening, it was like maybe like 20 minutes later, not even, probably like 15. We meet up with we cross. So Robert.
This is before I saw Mikey Graceffa, Broadway dancing star.
On Chippendale
Hulu was my show. He, we had a great kiki.
Yeah, it was lovely. But there was like a slightly covered area on the opposite end of the pool, and so
that Alex and I had discovered.
Yes,
you fags would not move from your spot.
No, and then, but even then, I was getting rained on because there's like gaps in the fucking whatever, the canopy that was covering. But we go over there, so we meet up with Prue and Alex, and then all of a sudden I look to my left yet again, and I see none other than the man, the Disney adult that I talked about in last week's episode,
dancing literally right behind us
in a hot pink Speedo. He just dancing his life away. He was like rolling on something for sure. And they had bottle service, and I was like, Nick. Well, he's wealthy.
Yeah, I was like, let's go have the drinks.
I said, absolutely, absolutely not. That man humiliated me, and I also queefed on his dick. I don't need to remind.
Queefing is not that big of a deal. You keep talking about queefing like it's wrong.
I know. I just think it's funny, but I wasn't gonna go up there and be like, hey, girl, because he'd be like, do I know you? And that would be so, especially in that environment, absolutely humiliating.
You would have jumped off the roof.
Oh, I made multiple jokes that during our time there, where I was like, oh, this glass barrier is not that tall, girl. I could just climb over and end it all. I was like, this could happen. No, it was dark. It was a dark experience.
And then I was like, okay, we're trying to finish our drinks, and then and then Alex was like, we were talking about like, we can't even change. So I was like, I guess, and then I was like, well, I guess we could take our shirts off. And then Alex tried taking his tank off, and I was like, you're absolutely not taking your shirt off.
You're like, you are banned.
You are banned, because Alex is ripped and he has a great body, but I'm just like, you're gonna be with the girls, one with the girls. If all of us are staying clothed, you're staying clothed. I am not about to lose Alex to a sea of shirtless face right now.
Because as soon as the shirt went off, he would have been he would have been sucked into like the mass shirtless mob, and we would have lost him forever. We would have not gotten him back.
No,
they wouldn't have let him go.
No, he would have seen Sasha Colby. Shea Coulee.
Yeah, he would have. But then it got to a point where we're like, okay, it's raining again. We want to leave. The drinks are really expensive. We're like, let's go to Hell's Kitchen. We'll go to Flaming Saddles. So we leave. We get onto the train, and then we run into this group of Brazilian men who Thomas was wearing a tank top, and his
like showcases
his nipples were out, and this man who was very drunk comes, and he was hot. He was really hot. He comes
like hot, like late 40s, like daddy training vibes.
Yeah, very much that. And he was like, he goes, look at that nipple. And then was like, and we were like, huh? And he goes, you have a perfect pink salmon nipple. And then just kept like playing with Thomas's nipple. And then Peru was like egging him on, being like, ooh, yeah, you like his nipple? Yeah, you like his nipple. You should make out with him right now. And sure enough, they did make out for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Why? Because there I am again, me being a sister, looking out for my girls, getting my girls action before myself.
And you're so selfless for that. That's the cancer. It's the cancer in you.
In me getting my friends. Pissed on the train on Pride.
And so that was really funny. And then the funny thing was we were all standing in the door, like the doorway of the train, and like I was holding on to like one of the poles, and this man, when he like came up to Thomas, stepped in front of me and put his arm like in front of my face to like hold on because he was drunk. But then at one point he looked back because he was like looking at everyone in the group, I think just like eyeing us up, assessing, you know, like who are they, like do I want to keep talking to them, and like he looked back at me and then just completely ignored me, didn't even say hi, and then just like went back to talking, and then like blocked me from the rest of the group, and then didn't say anything to me for the entire train ride until finally, like after he made out with Thomas, he was like, "Your hair is ridiculous." And I was like, "Thank you." And he's like, and then he went to his group and he goes, look, isn't his hair ridiculous? And I was like, "Thank you." Mind you, I just was my normal curls. They were just out and about, bouncy, fresh, healthy looking, juicy.
Yeah, Miss Jessie Soft Curls.
My Miss Jessie Jelly Soft Curls. Thank you so much. Please sponsor. But yeah, and then
oh my god.
But then we got off the train before did they get off the train before us, or did we get off after them?
No, we got out 50th.
Oh, they got off after us.
They got out at 42nd.
Oh, okay. So then we get off whatever. We go to Flaming Saddles. We're in line. We go to Flaming Saddles. Have a lovely time. As soon as we get in there and we're at the bar waiting for our drinks, this straight woman,
oh my god,
comes up to our group and asks us a question. She was like,
"You just."
I listen. I lived for her. She came up to us and she was like, "If we requested Dolly Parton, would everyone like it? Does everyone like Dolly Parton?" And we were all like, yes, of course. And they're like, "You think like
it's a gay country bar?"
They're like, "Do you think?" What did she like? Did she say something like, "Oh, like an idol or something?" Like, is she an idol for you guys? And we're like, "We love Dolly, girl. Like, if you played her, we'd all freak out." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then she was like talking to us, and she goes, "Oh, we're just visiting the city. I'm here with my friend. Like, whatever." She was like in her 40s.
Yeah, but by the time it was just you were more engaged in conversation with her.
Well, because at one point, because like she was talking, and then the conversation kind of drifted, and then she said something. I was asking where everyone was from, and then she turned to me and Alex was like, "Oh, I'm from Ohio," and she's like, "Oh my god," she's like, "I'm from Indiana," and then she's like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm originally from Wisconsin." She was, "Oh my god," she was like, "My family's in Wisconsin," and so then at that point when that was happening, the rest of the group all turned their backs to her, like they're like, "We don't want to engage," and then Alex like stepped aside, and then it was just me and her talking, and basically she was like, she was talking to me and she's like, "Yeah," she was like, "I just like really love like being in New York, and like I just think it's a really great place," and she's like, "I have a 7-year-old son, and my husband, I think he's gay." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "But we worry about him, you know, because like he goes to a Baptist school," and she's like, "And yes, we did put him in that, but like like religion." Yes, she's like, "But we're not pushing religion on him," and like all of these things, and like we were just like dissecting. I was like, "Well, listen, girl, I went to Catholic school like my whole life, like growing up, like, and I turned out still gay, so like your son will be fine, I'm sure. If he's a faggot, like he can't stop a runaway train, babe." And we really were just kind of like clicking, and then I love her name was Tara, and I was like, "My sister." Shout out to Sarah. And then she went back to her friend. She was like saying, I guess her sister lives in New York, and she was staying at her place, and I was like, "Oh my god, girl," I was like, "You gotta move to New York." And she's like, "I would if I didn't have kids." And I was like, "T." And then we
only having a one-on-one with this like 40-year-old woman. We're all just all trying to get digged down, trying to make out with somebody.
But the thing was, is like I knew I was not gonna get digged down on Pride Sunday because one, I had worked that day, so I did not prepare. I did not douche but that evening, so I knew that was gonna happen. And then if anything was going to happen, I was just gonna suck a dick. And then, but that didn't happen because I'm at a phase right now where it's like I'm not like actively searching for it.
Yeah, we know it's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
It's been a while, actually. Yeah. It's been a minute. And I get, yeah. So, and also I'm just like, right now, the faggots at these gay bars, I'm not what they're looking for. Well, in the moment, you know what I mean?
Listen,
but I will say, shout out. I can't remember their name, but I did have a fan come up and say hi.
A townsperson?
No, TikTok fan.
Oh well, never mind.
I got you know because there was a moment. So anyway, he comes up and he's like, I thought he was trying to get past me, and so he was like, "Oh, excuse me," and I was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like moving out of the way, and he goes, "Oh no, like I love your TikToks," and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Thank you," and then we like chit chat or whatever. He's like, "Oh, I think you're so funny." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much," whatever. It was like very brief, and then
you didn't promote the podcast obviously because you were what? bad at marketing.
It was a busy loud bar. They started playing Chaperone. Everyone was singing along. I obviously had to join in. And I was also drunk. And then as we were leaving the bar, mind you, the sun was still out. Like, literally, I was so drunk to the point where, like, when we left the bar, because, like, it had been cloudy or whatever because of the rain and stuff, that had subsided. The clouds had parted. The sun was shining. It was only, like, 8 o'clock. I was so discombobulated by that. I was like, I'm sorry, the sun is out right now? I was like, what? Because Flaming Saddles is dark inside. Like, you don't see anything. I was like, what the fuck? And as we were walking out of the bar, some other gay person was like, oh my god, I love your TikToks. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. And he's like, yeah, they're so silly and stupid. And I was like, stupid? I was like, okay, bitch.
Excuse me.
And then Prue got jealous. She was jealous.
You know what?
No one recognized her.
It's okay, because it's been happening to me a lot lately, and it was time for you to get your shine. It was time for you to shine through in pride.
And then we had a fight.
We went to Empanada Mama, and we had a fight. We
had dinner, and over dinner, I had to work at 8 a.m. the next day. So
did Robert.
Yeah, Robert had left
before
we even went out to dinner. And so then it was me, Thomas, Alex, and Peru. We were all having dinner at Banana Mama. And then
what you can call dinner. It really was just like us trying to get our bearings together because we were all so fucked up.
And I was also starving. But then we were at the table, and then Peru was like, okay, so the next plan is we're going to go to this place. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go home after this. And then you were like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I am. And you're like, no, you always do this. You always leave early. And I was like, I'm sorry, I came out. I work at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And the two of us were just like arguing back and forth.
Also, by the way, Alex is drunk too. Our friend Thomas is sober. So Thomas the entire night has just been witnessing it, which he lives for. I mean, he does poppers and like he just vibes, you know.
And he lives for the caddy, like the
drama. I know. So I just want to get Thomas's side of it too.
Right, but you were like upset. You were like, no, you're not. You're like, you're gonna come out. You're gonna go at least one more place. And I was like, I'm so drunk right now. If I do another drink, like, because I didn't get it. I'm so grateful I didn't do a drink at Empanada Mama, because if I did, I would
get mad at you at that too when I ordered a frozen margarita.
No, yeah, because you and Alex got drinks, and then me and Thomas just ordered water, and you were like, seriously? And I was like, what? And you're like, you're not going to get a drink.
And I just love your impression of me, because I feel like it's really spot on.
Well, because you're my sister.
because like, when... But I feel like in some people are misconstrued if they don't know me, but like that is just my face, you know?
Yeah, and I just thought it was so funny. I was just like, I wasn't taking any of it seriously. I was just like, why are you trying to fight with me right now? And you were so upset. You were like, get a drink. And I was like, I'm not gonna get a drink. Like, I need to drink water. Like, I'm really drunk right now. I don't want to be hungover. And then you were like, okay, well then you're gonna go to one more place with us. And I was like, well, no, I'm not. And then as soon as we left Empanada Mama, we literally hugged, and you were like, I love you so much. And like,
there was a photo of it.
And there was a photo. If you follow us on Instagram, both of us posted it.
Yeah.
It was a very sweet moment.
Yeah, it was a moment of remembering who we are.
She remembered who she was, and the game changed.
And then he left, and then we went back to Flaming Saddles, which was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because after that, we wanted to do more, and then I was like, no.
It was really funny because I was waiting for the train, and the train wasn't going to come for like 15-20 minutes, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, at that point, it was only 9 o'clock, or like maybe 9:30, and I was like, really? Like, why is it going to be so long? And so I stayed on the train platform, and I was like on Sniffies and Grindr, and like I had a couple people hit me up, but I was like, it wasn't hot enough. No one was like really getting me going in a way that I was like, I'm gonna get off this train platform and go suck some dick real quick. So I just was like, whatever. Oh my god, no, we didn't talk about Saturday though. Saturday, the day before, because this will be real quick. But anyway, so I got home, I went to bed, I was in bed by like 10:30, and then I was fine, and I wasn't hungover the next day for work. It was lovely and gorgeous. Saturday night, it was Thomas's birthday on Sunday, but we celebrated it on Saturday.
Yeah.
We went to the pier, like Christopher Street Pier, and like had a little kind of like drink picnic situation. And then we all got dinner, and then we went to Monster. That was like the only bar that we went to. And so I was fairly drunk. And so then me, Thomas, and our friend Mia all left together from Monster. And we went to Papaya Dog, because I was like, I'm really hungry. I really want to go to Papaya Dog. I had not had Papaya Dog in so long. The last time I went to Papaya Dog was with said Libra. who said that he didn't think we could ever be devoted to each other, in which when I ordered my food, a homeless man spit on me in the face. And then the workers just apologized to me. They said, "Oh, we're so sorry that happened to you." And I said, "Can I get a paper towel, please?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "Thank you." And so I ordered. Mind you, they raised their prices. It was like $18 for fucking chicken tenders and fries without a drink. I said, I'm sorry. Like, I understand recession, like, whatever's going on, like, the economy, whatever.
Well, actually, there's no recession right now, but sure.
Whatever.
Actually, the economy is doing pretty well under Biden, unfortunately.
Then why is everything so fucking expensive?
Well, you know.
I'm sorry, why is the price of a chicken tender and a thing of fries $18 fucking dollars?
Is this you running for president right now? Why is it price?
I'm just saying that should not be that price, because in my time when I was in college, maximum $12 for that shit with a drink. What are we doing? $6 price hike? This is ridiculous. So anyway,
we're not a political podcast.
So anyway, so I get my fucking food, and then I was gonna take it on the train because the West 4 station is right there, and I was gonna take the train home because I take the A home, and it's a quick 25-minute ride from there for me on the express, because it was fairly early enough where the train was still going to be express. And so I'm waiting for the train platform. It tells me the train's not going to come for 30 fucking minutes. I said, okay. I wait 5 minutes. Still says on the little thing, 30 minutes away. I said, I'm sorry, what's going on? 5 more minutes go by. Still says it's 30 minutes. I said, what? I pull up the MTA website, and it says that some dumb bitch got fucking hit by the train 2 stops before West 4th, and so train service severely delayed. And I said, are you fucking kidding me? Mind you, this train station, there's no AC. Everyone, it's packed. I'm dripping in sweat. I have a hot meal that is gonna be ice cold by the time I get home. And I said, I'm sorry. And it's either one, you decide you want to jump in front of the train now during Pride, or 2, you're dumb enough to get hit. That's on you.
Wow.
That's on you. And I said it. Okay, I don't give a fuck. Clip it. I don't give a care. I don't give a flying fuck. I was so mad. And so then I was like, okay, I get on Grindr. I start looking at men. There's a guy who hits me up, and from his profile photo, which didn't have his face in it, his body looked nice, and he was like, this is gonna sound awful, but he was like, he hits me up and he's like, hey, like, what's up, whatever. I'm like, I'm just waiting for the train. And he's like, oh yeah, you want to come over? And I was like, yeah, I have my food though, could I like come over and eat it?
You said that? Nick,
I was drunk. I was drunk, and I was like, yeah, I have like a meal. I was like, I was like, oh, would it be cool if I like come over and eat it? And he's like, yeah, then you want to suck my dick? And I was like, oh, maybe like pics. Sends me his pics.
Ugly.
Wasn't cute.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you want to come over? I stopped responding. I was like, you know what?
You got a ghost.
And then no. And then I fucking, because the train kept saying it was going to be 30 minutes. I waited for this train for like 25 minutes, and it kept saying they were still 30 minutes away. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to get an Uber. I paid $40 for a fucking shared Uber. I get in the Uber, and I'm a feminist. I am. Okay?
Here we go.
I think I believe in equality.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Brace yourselves.
This is the only time in my life in which I have had a woman be my Uber driver, and also an Uber driver who followed the rules of the road and drove this fucking speed limit. And I said, Mama was pissed. I'm sitting in the back of this Uber, falling the fuck to sleep. Mind you, while I was waiting for this train, I fully ate the entire chicken tender and fries, like, on the train platform. Like, I looked like in a bun.
Yeah, you were in a bun that day.
And I was just like eating my chicken tenders or whatever. And so I was just like, I was ready for bed. I was exhausted. I was drunk. The person who is in my shared Uber gets picked up after me, and they get dropped off first, which is normally fine. Every Uber driver I have, when it's they bob and weave through traffic to get us home earlier than that time that it says the ETA is. And then the ETA kept getting extended because this girl was driving the speed limit. And I said, girl, really?
She wants to make sure that you don't die on Pride, bitch. She wants to make sure you get home so you can be a faggot again on Sunday. She was looking out for your well-being. Okay?
I'm sorry, no, this is Charlie X Vroom Vroom, okay? You better speed the fuck up, okay? No, and then, I still gave her 5 stars, and I tipped her 20%, but I was like, we left the bar at 11:30, I didn't get home until 1:30. It was a 2-hour, that whole excursion, for me, mind you, I got my papaya dog within like 3 minutes. Like, it was ready. It was like, I got to me.
Yeah,
I
you pay for the speediness.
Yeah, 100%.
They raise the prices because they're being.
But that whole experience took me fucking 2 hours to get home, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I will say, as far as Grindr album etiquette goes, I am not gonna sit here and tell you that, like, if I receive your album and I am not into it, I feel like it's a disservice for me to respond and say something that's a lie that will make the other person feel like I want to continue talking to them after I saw their nudes. But I feel like the most I ever do is just tap it and not say anything. But for the most part, I feel like it's completely appropriate if you get an album and you don't like the goods to not keep responding. As a matter of fact, it's actually worse if you don't respond and the person just keeps messaging you. Yeah? You ready? You like it? Are you good?
Yeah.
Yours. I'm like, get the hint.
And thankfully he didn't do that. But also, I had talked to him before, and it was like the same situation where it was like, oh, like he sent me his photos.
I got one recently in which the dick was. I'd been a bit since I've seen one of these, but it was like, what do you call them?
Chode?
It was chode, but it was like a chode wannabe because it wasn't fully a chode. It was like still pretty small. It was like not micro, but not chode.
Chodes are small, but it's as long as it is wide.
Yeah, this one was just kind of like chody, but with like an extra sass on the head.
See,
it just looked bad. It just didn't.
Yeah, I hate an ugly dick.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But like, I would rather have like a.
No judgment.
I'd rather have like a girthy short dick than a skinny dick. I don't like thin dick.
Well, it depends though. Like, one thing's thin, one thing's just not as thick. You know, like pencil dicks is one thing, but just thin is not bad. Like the guy, the I Love You guy, he had a 9-inch dick. He wasn't thick, but he wasn't pencil thin. It was.
I've seen it. He sent me his album. He hit me up.
Well, you know that.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh. See, the thing is that as everyone knows in the town, I pull through and you don't.
Well, I'm at a stage right now where I'm being a little bit more. It's quality over quantity.
Also, this is from like you said that he hit you up like 2 years ago.
Well, he hit me up. He's hit me up in college.
Yeah,
when I was in
college.
college.
Mask fishing.
No. And then after you had sex, he hit me up, and then he sent me his album. Oh, go, girl. I'll pull up the receipts.
Do you have the pigtails in your fucking album now?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, and that's why.
My case.
And well, that's the thing. Is like another thing. It's like I'm just not like I'm not in the mood to have to like show up to a man's apartment and then like worry.
And put on the work.
And put in the work to be like, hey, dude, what's up? Like, I'm not doing that.
No, right now I'm just really vibing with just fucking the regs, like people that have their phone numbers. You know.
Yeah, I have one reg, and it's good, and we see each other maybe once every 2-3 weeks, and like that's what I need, and it's fine. And it's that. That is that. Now, speaking of cases, we're gonna talk about a major case, right,
in the criminal justice system. Now, many of you were quick to DM us and comment, and thank you if you're watching this. If you're a visual learner, please drop a comment about something where you're watching. We love you. Austin Wolf was arrested. And charged, and as of yesterday, denied bail because he was denied bail yesterday because he's considered a flight risk.
Wow.
Yeah, the judge is not fucking around. For possession and distribution of child pornography. Now, before we get into the details of the case at hand, I'm gonna say bravely, I have seen Austin Wolf's work. I have masturbated to it, and I have consumed it. And as we've expressed here in this podcast before, Austin Wolf has indeed reached out to both Nick and I to engage in sexual behavior.
On film.
On film.
And on film.
Document
and my response was, I cannot look at my body in that way. Thank you so much, though. And he was like, okay.
My response was like, as long as my face is not on it, yeah. And then
he stopped responding.
the address was never dropped.
Sure. Well, and thank God for that. Thank God.
And thank God for that.
The universe was looking out for you.
But you know what? Let's just quickly break down. Austin Wolf's been around for a while.
Yeah, since I was like in middle school.
Been working, and so like that gives you kind of like an idea of the time, you know, because for like an FBI sting, excuse me, especially for like cases about severity.
Oh, trust and believe. I went on a date with someone who got caught in an FBI sting for child pornography.
It's like episodes like 7 episodes ago. What was the name of the episode? If you're a new townsperson, we discussed the time that Nick fully engaged with somebody who was
caught and arrested in an FBI sting and is currently in prison.
Yeah. So with FBI stings, like they're so meticulous about child pornography that like they don't just like, oh, we think it's happening, we're gonna bring him in.
No,
they collect and collect and collect.
And they bait.
And like some people say that that's wrong. I say like nothing's wrong when you just bait. Like people that do the FBI stings for like teen girls or whatever, you know, like preteen. I'm like, you best they're infiltrating these black market spaces to try to fucking snatch these hoes.
Yeah.
I think like it's totally fair game for them to pretend.
Well, also because if you read the the Justice Department's like official report or whatever, the kinds of content that he had on his person is really horrific.
It's vile. And there's nothing shameful in saying it because we're not doing it. But, you know, like, they're not just talking about distributing, like, you know, like 17-year-olds. They're talking prepubescent and infants. And that was in the fucking report. Like, literally in the report. So, to know that he's been around for that long and doing this, it's nuts. And also, I guess everyone on X and everyone on the discussion posts are saying, like, not surprised, you know, you can tell by his type or whatever. And I have an argument against that. And I want to hear your take on it. Do you have anything specific you want to say about Austin Wolf? Any personal experiences?
I will say I stopped consuming his content fairly early on. Like,
really? Because I am, again, going to be brave and say, I think not recently, I would say I recall the last video that I saw of him because I was subscribed on OnlyFans to Shirok.
Oh.
Hottie, who I should go on Twitter and see his response because you know, like men.com put on a statement.
Really? I didn't see that.
It's actually kind of tea that the porn industry now is like being brought to light because they're all having to make like serious statements. And like Joey Mills had a fucking like statement on X.
He's a fan of mine.
Oh my god, Joey Mills. We've talked about you and your work. I need to clip that one to have him see it.
Of this.
Not this.
From
episode before. But Joey Mills said, you know, like, first and foremost, let me be clear, I have never engaged in any collaborations, you know? And I'm not trying to make fun of it, but I think it is funny that, like, now the porn industry is having their time to, like, respond to, you know, something that's happening in culture, you know? They're like, first and foremost.
Well, I mean, it's a big deal.
Of course, a big deal. But I saw a video of him and Shirok, and the person that was with him, it was this like tatted guy who was like, you know, like a sub bottom, whatever. But that was the last video I saw with Austin Wolf. I think they were sharing like a house. And through Shirok, I saw only Shirok was fucking this guy. And then the more I was watching the video, then Austin shows up. And then they start tag teaming this guy, and I was like, oh. And so that's the last video I recollect of seeing with Miss Wolf in it. But before, I saw, like, video of Austin Wolf, like, fucking Armand Rizzo. And he always fucks, like, obviously, like, all these bottoms. So, like, if you're a well-known bottom in the circuit, you've probably been fucked by fucking Austin Wolf. So my question is, with so many... And again, not to place blame. With so many people that have interacted with Austin Wolf and, like, you know, have, you know, did anyone ever see anything suspicious?
The thing is,
Austin Wolf,
okay,
have been. Sorry, one more thought. So sorry. I will let you speak. I'm so sorry. I just want to get because it's here. To, you know, be talking about people in the black internet, in the dark web, about things like child pornography. You know, it's not like just talking to a friend on a private incognito browser, right? You have to really do the work.
Yeah.
So I guess he was like that private about it that he never once spoke to it to anybody, or maybe he alluded to it to somebody, and then all those girls were just like, okay.
I mean, I really doubt that he would allude anything to anyone. I mean, from my experience, my personal experience of engaging with somebody who was caught in an FBI sting for a very similar situation, it's so hard to tell because they have those kinds of people who are able to, like, be so evil, but at the same time, like, present very normal. They do a very good job of playing like the part
because they're sociopaths,
right? And so there's like I mean, and obviously because it is so illegal and wrong and vile and gross
at its base,
right? But
illegal is also killing somebody, but this is disgusting,
right? And because of that, you're not gonna be going around telling people that you're into this kind of shit, because people are gonna be like, oh my god, you're a disgusting human being, like you're oh my god. So I'm sure he kept that shit on the down low, because again, when the person who I had I went on a date with, who got caught in an FBI sting, he like fully like his roommate, like everyone in his life were like making statements being like, his boyfriend were like had no idea, and like I genuinely do believe that they had no idea, because having met this person, they're charming. Most of the time is like these people get away with it for so long because they are charming and charismatic, and you would never suspect it because they're so unassuming. So obviously, if you would never consider someone like that would do something so crazy and disgusting and vile, you're not going to go looking for it, because you would have no, unless you had
a suspicion,
but then like that would have to come from like you coming across something.
Well, of course, but see, that's the segue into my main question, is that everyone on the threads is just like, not surprised. Oh, well, have you seen his content? Come on, hello, it was only about time. I'm just like, okay, we can't just be throwing that, because there's a gazillion content creators that just like are known for only fucking twinks, or only fucking, or people who just, fuck people of color only, like they have their own subcultures and subgroups, and like there's a whole thing, which will lead me to my fucking next topic, which is get ready to be fucking gagged, mama. But what I'm saying is, I don't necessarily am of the school of just everyone just commenting, being like, well, we saw this coming, we knew, have you seen this fucking... I don't believe that. I'm like, I consume many other people who like have a type of who they fuck. Like, I mean, I would never be like, because now it's basically you just saying like any guy, any daddy who's fucking twinks is like, oh well, he's gonna be a pedophile. It's just like I can't make that as
right. I
don't connect Wolf fucking young twinks with child pornography.
I will say though, he did have a history. I mean, I will say there's a difference between there's a difference between fucking twinks and then fucking twinks that are freshly 18, and that's like your type is like you just turned 18 and I want to fuck you, because that was like I mean, a lot has come out since this whole thing happened and him getting arrested, where people have come forward and been like, oh, I had sex with Austin Wolf, I just turned 18, and like I saw something, and I can't remember exactly who posted it, but they like had showed messages where they said, hey, like they messaged him and were like,
oh, they put like screenshots of the messages,
screenshots of like Twitter DMs being like, hey, like we had sex and whatever, and I had just turned 18, and it's like a couple years later, and I'm now realizing that like you kind of took advantage of the situation, and it did make me, and now looking back on it, I do feel kind of gross about that situation.
And quick,
and his response was, he's like, you were an adult, you knew what was gonna happen.
Okay, this all gets into the legality of the whole thing, because obviously whatever he's doing, but he will go to prison for the rest of his life. I hope he gets fucking gangbanged in prison and killed. I hope that happens.
Well,
but and I'll say it and clip that. I believe that any fucking rapist, especially when it comes to children, should get fucking like gangbanged and fucking murdered in jail. I said it. Clip it, because that's disgusting, and like that's what you get when you do shit like that. That's called karma, mama. Because karma. It's a savage.
Karma's a bitch. I should have known better.
But oh my god, yeah. And you know what?
Fuck just booed me right now.
And you know what? Miss Jojo Siwa was singing about fucking Austin Wolf. She was singing about her. She was like, I know that bitch. I'm talking about her. She's gonna come down hard boots, bitch. And she did. But so, what I'm saying is, and this is why like it's just so complicated, because like, okay. If you freshly turn 18 and then you're engaging in conversation with a well-known porn content creator, what do you think is going to happen?
But that's the thing. It's like,
so
no. But listen. Hold on.
Let me finish that. Mama, hold on.
Okay, finish your thought.
I'm just out here. We're just having a spirited discussion. Mm-hmm. I'm obviously always on the side of the victims. I'm just trying, and from like a legal perspective, a legal mind, as some would say, so scholar in debate and speech, as I am myself. He has an argument with that. It's like, oh well, you're 18, like. I would love to hear more of the experience of maybe this person being coerced, into doing things that they maybe didn't want to do. Another thing is just that you literally exchanging DMs with a porn content creator discussing having sex for content.
I will say though,
does that make sense of what I'm trying to say? It's like, okay,
kind of, but I think, listen, there's something to be said. Your brain does not fully develop until
there's people on men.com right now, the new rising stars, and let's talk about the porn industry at large. The twinks get old, and they're always looking for the new, youngest, hottest thing, and they all work at studios at 18, 19. So you're saying that they're being coerced to be in porn?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
I love this.
I'm saying is that me at 18, from my personal experience,
horny down,
and I was going around fucking all these old dudes when I moved to New York. But what I'm saying is like,
do you feel like they coerced you?
No, because because
they were older, like, so.
But if I was in their position, I would not be hooking up with freshly 18-year-olds because so I would feel so it would. Can I speak? Wow. Will you let me finish? Wow. Thank you very much. If I'm in that position, even now, I'm 25 years old. If somebody who's like 20 hits me up, that feels like a power imbalance because I am older. I have more life experience than this person. I'm like, I don't have that much in common with you to begin with. What do I have in common as, for example, these men that I was fucking who were in their late 40s, early 50s, as an 18-year-old, we have nothing in common with each other. Yes, like it's a fantasy for sure, but like you can also be fucking young dudes who are in their mid-20s who have more life experience, who understand the dynamics of like adult relationships better than somebody who is still a teenager. Yes, 18, teenager. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Legal under the law.
Yeah, legal under the law, but like, and so like, sure, you can't be prosecuted or arrested for like having sex with them, but also it's just like, what it says more about the older man than it does the younger person.
That's the point I'm coming across to.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying is like, and this goes into, I saw, and it's been really interesting, like looking at porn post this whole thing, because there was a video that came up that I saw a couple of days ago, in which there's this porn actor who has always kind of given me bad vibes, but like, and I understand that like there again, it's a fetish to like be into young twinks for some people, and like yes, like there are people out there that are like yeah, but they have to be 18, like whatever, like do with someone who's younger than that. Yeah. But this guy kept being, and in this video he kept making the twink go, I just turned 18 3 days ago, and mind you, he looked it, and so I was like, this is so weird, and he's like, I'm getting that, he's like, I'm gonna fuck that freshly 18 puss, and he's like, say it again, and he's like, when did you turn 18? And he was like, 3 days ago. And it was like, it was just like really kind of bizarre, and I was like, and again, I get it, it's fetish content, and like, is that twink like just turned 18? I don't know. Yeah. But it looked like it could be that kind of situation, and I just made me feel really uncomfortable as somebody who does enjoy sort of like a age gap sort of situation. Like, there's just something about that just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Well, speaking of that, I'm gonna gag you right now because this all ties in together, and we'll wrap up the discussion. But I mean, do we have to? I could go on about this for a bit because I want to tell you.
Well, it depends. I have to meet up.
What time do you have to leave?
I have to leave
at 6.
Like probably 5:30.
You have to leave at 5:30?
Probably.
Why so early?
Because we're gonna meet up and get drinks before.
Oh, wow! You hate me.
No, I just have plans. The show starts at 7.
So, I was looking at porn this morning because I told you I woke up like at 8 or something after I texted you that I was gagged and shocked. Mm-hmm. Before I went back to bed. And sometimes I get horny when I wake up, and I'm like, I just want to like rub one out, like I just said earlier in this episode. So I'm going on Twitter, actually, on X. And you know how sometimes like you see a video and then like you go into an account that just like, because you know, that sound like I'm a boomer, but you know how it's like shared this, you know, you go into different porn accounts and they're just sharing other people's videos. So you just go like on a rabbit hole, just like, oh, what's here? Oh, what's here? So it's on a rabbit hole on Twitter. So I'm going from this one guy and I want to keep seeing him, and I just keep going, and then like I'm seeing what he shared, videos that he shared recently. I'm like, ooh, that's hot. Somehow, not that difficult. It was like, it must have been like after 4 different clicks on like, oh, shared this, I go into their account, another one. It must have been like not more than 4. Scrolling, trying to jerk off because I was like super horny. I come across a video from the people known as Big C men.
Oh, I've heard of them.
You've heard of them?
Mm-hmm.
You're not familiar with them?
I mean, I don't watch their videos.
Okay, well, I've watched a lot of their videos, and at one point,
because the one's bald, right?
One's bald, and the other one's like Jared, who's the younger one with hair. Kind of looks like a Panic at the Disco vibes, like long hair like this.
I don't know what he looks like.
Anyway, I've seen a lot of the content. I enjoyed a lot of their content up until now. I see a video of them, of they refer to as Big C. Big C is the bald one, little C is the younger one. They're together, they own a house in Los Angeles or something, and they're always fucking. They fucked everyone. Everyone's fucked with them, and I'm surprised I haven't heard more of what's been occurring. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can jerk off to this. I was like, I saw a video of one of them when I was like, ooh, let me go on his account and then look for other, quick clips that I can jerk off to. So I'm scrolling on Big C Man, and whoever's listening to me right now, who knows what I'm about to say, you're probably gagging and yelling. So, Nick's about to get gagged. I'm scrolling, and then I start realizing that this guy's actually active on Twitter, not just with porn, but actually just screenshots of like his life and engagement. And I keep looking, and it's a bunch of screenshots he's posting of people talking to him on his DMs, being like, oh, man, I know that you're a Trumper, but like it's so hot, and you're the sexiest daddy alive, and your content's so, and I hate that you're a big fat Trump supporter, but like I just can't stand it, but your content's so hot, so I'm gonna keep. So it's, and then there's other screenshot of this one being like, I used to love your content, but now I found out that you like do support Trump and donate to Trump, so I'm not gonna stop consuming your content anymore. And then like the heading is just like, that's not what you were saying when I was ball deeps in you, haha. So this guy clearly has come out as a Trump supporter.
Okay.
And a lot of fans are either being like, sucks that you're a Trump supporter, but I'm still gonna watch your videos because you're hot and it's sexy, or some fans are just trying to roast him because he's been open about supporting Trump. So of course, curiosity, I'm just like, wait, like did he post something? Did he make an announcement? And then I stumbled upon a video. I didn't read what the video said because I was just trying to watch the video, and I regretted not reading what it said. It was a video in which he was fucking a black guy.
Jeez. Oh God. Did he like say the N-word or something in it, or like use the N-word in the
purpose of the video was him calling the black guy the N-word the entire time.
Not race play.
Listen, and this tells you I'm a rotted gay, and I know that. I never knew of race play.
Oh really?
Never. You heard it here first, townspeople. I've known of people having fetishes, like Latin, whatever, in like a very like superficial way where I'm just like, yeah, I'm the brown one, like I've discussed this, whatever. And I'm sure, with like black people, I'm sure it's the same thing with like big white cock, big black cock. Like we get it. We understand. I never knew there was a thing called race play, particularly when it comes to the black experience, in which, first and foremost, obviously I have no say in. So if I was just extremely shocked. And when I tell you, my phone fell out of my hand. Like I felt like the police was gonna come arrest me. I was like, is this legal? Like what? I was like, I don't know what's happening. I was so scared because, and I mean, that says something about me, because let me tell you, that made me really uncomfortable. And of course, because I am only human, I have to keep scrolling. I was like, is this a thing that he's doing now? Turns out, the content that he was doing on OnlyFans when I subscribed to his thing, even like it was like 6 months ago at the very least, but nothing after that. Like I haven't. He wasn't posting videos of that on his OnlyFans, but it turns out that now he's doubling on his race play, so much so that like, well, because I just kept scrolling, and there was actually a post that was like 32 plus videos of RP race play, like, and screenshots, and his entire Twitter feed is just black man after black man after black man, who I'm assuming are signing themselves up to this, which again goes back to the whole question of just, consent, sure, and whatever you want to do. Please do not cancel me. I obviously, if any black person is into race play and that, I am not saying anything. I have no say in that.
Well, have you seen the Broadway play Slave Play?
No, is it about that?
That is like the whole kind of like theme of the show is like grappling with what that whole fetish community sort of thing.
Oh my god, I wish I would have seen it.
It's actually really topical because they just made a documentary about the making of the show. I think the London version.
Is it on?
It's on HBO.
I'll watch it today.
I haven't seen it yet, but Jeremy O. Harris, who is the writer, he and I are mutuals on Instagram and TikTok. But that's like, he is a black man who wrote this play. It's a very controversial play, and there's very mixed reactions to it from all different communities about, you know.
Would you say understandably so or no? Do you think it's one-sided?
No, I can understand. There are people who do feel that it is very what's the word?
It's like tokenizing the community,
exploitative,
yeah.
And also just like there's violence in the show, and just there's lots of questions of like what is the point of writing this and making this sort of thing, because it is, again, it's a very it's shocking, and the premise of the show itself, but I also do feel like as a white person, I really can't speak on that experience, but it was interesting because I saw it in college. I saw the director, Robert O'Hara, was a former teacher at NYU and the program that I was in, and so we got to go to the final dress rehearsal, and I saw it was like basically the entire audience was mostly black people, and like just listening and being in the audience and like watching them react to certain jokes and certain things that are said and whatever was so interesting.
Did you feel any kind of way? What was your experience?
I mean, I enjoyed the play, but again, like,
did you feel weird, like even reacting or laughing at anything? Did it make you feel uncomfortable?
No, I didn't feel any particular.
Like, no, I laughed the whole way.
No, I didn't feel any particular kind of way when I saw it, but it was also interesting because like my viewing experience was so different than what majority Broadway audiences had, because I got to see it with all of like these people who got to see it for free, and most of them are actors that got to see it like on the day off from like the show that they were in and everything. And so like it was just a very different experience. I saw it with a lot of young people, like around the same age as me, and like a lot of the things that were referenced, you know, they understood. But then majority white audiences who can afford to see a Broadway play and spend this money, from the news cycle that came out after, like, you know, lots of white people were made very uncomfortable by it because it made them reckon
with their part
in it, and their identity and race and white supremacy and all this kind of stuff. And so there were many instances that I would see in which like there would be news reports or articles and things of like white people who would like got up in the middle of the show and were like, this is ridiculous, and like cause a scene, kind of whatever. So my experience was very specific and everything, but I don't know, like it's an interesting topic of conversation for sure.
Interesting in a broad sense, and I mean, to quickly put a bright light on what you're discussing, it reminds me of going to go see A Strange Loop, which was transformative theater for me. Yeah, it was beautiful, and I mean, obviously I'm not black, I am a person of color, so I mean, I guess in some ways I find relation to an experience of, you know, being different and sexuality. Did you see it?
No, I wasn't able to.
But one of the biggest takeaways that I remember, and also something that the people who brought Strange Loop to life were discussing, is we want to bring more black people to come see fucking musical theater, or to come to that theater. And the show that I happened to see was a matinee on a Sunday. It was the most people of color I'd ever seen in a Broadway show, and I'm not even saying like 30%. It was about 85% black people or people of color in that theater, and I am not gonna lie and tell you that the experience didn't feel different, because it did.
I'm sure
there is something in the air. It just feels different. It hits different, and you know, there is a sense of community, unspoken community, and just shared experiences, and it felt so beautiful to me. And at the end of the show is this big number about AIDS. Pause for applause. And I am, it's like this whole gospel number about, you know, going to hell and AIDS, and like I'm sobbing, and there's people crying around me, and it was a transformative experience. And so I can you know, I feel like as long as theater and things like this and art generates a reaction, I feel like you've done your work. You've
For
done
sure.
that. People are talking about it, but we don't talk about this kind of play in porn, in things that we consume, things that people don't want to talk about in the mainstream. But
well, and I also don't think it's. I mean, at least from my experience, like, I mean, I don't know because it's not something that I am into and search out. So I don't come across it literally ever, but I do know of it, and I do know that there are people out there that are into it. But I do think it is sort of kind of like a subcategory that is a little taboo still, even within the porn industry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know how any of these bigger name porn stars that have worked with the big C men. Like, I don't know if they're saying anything. I don't know if there's even.
I'm sure that they're probably not.
So that's what I mean. It's just like, so it's just something that race play is just something that's there, and the porn industry is just like, all right, it's just there because I guess it's again consenting adults just consenting to a fake scenario. And you know what happened is, so I just kept seeing. I was like, oh my god, like this is crazy, and like all his fucking like the titles of his posts were like, oh, watch me do this with this N word for like 17 minutes, like laughing emoji, and I was incensed and I was so shocked, Nick, but my curiosity could not believe it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I just kept scrolling. The moment I stopped scrolling, is it wrong for me to talk about this? I'm not doing it. I'm just saying, I'm just discussing an experience.
Yeah.
The moment I stopped scrolling and I felt deeply, completely horrendous is I saw 2 seconds, hand in my heart, swear to God, 2 seconds of a clip of him using a whip.
Ooh.
And I threw my phone again. I thought like the cops were outside. I was like, Clover, you're gonna have to pay rent this month. I was like, Clover, you're gonna have to feed yourself. Someone please, because to me that is crazy. It is crazy, and I am not here to shame anybody. If you're a townsperson and you're into race play, I don't think that we have any room to say.
I would just ask,
why.
Do some internal work and ask yourself why you're interested.
I'm gonna make my stance as a person of color, not as a black person, but I will say that if you are a person of color, I don't know if there's race play with brown people. I don't know if it's only with black.
No, I mean it's race play just in general. Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean we have to understand that like race play with black people carries a completely different undertone.
It's a different
connotation is completely different. The one with brown people, I mean, we can discuss about like Middle Eastern people. Like there's so much there to discuss.
There's different versions.
But with black people specifically, it's just different, and I cannot speak on it. As a brown person, I've spoken on this podcast about the one boyfriend that wanted me to speak Spanish to him, and I was like, okay, sir, see, and I was like, yes, papi, and that was fun. But I don't know which way I would find a way. I don't know how I would be like, oh yeah, call me a or like I don't know, like I don't know in which way you could like demean me in bed. That would be like I'm into. I don't know. It's just not something that I'm interested at all.
I'm feel not like into degradation at all.
Yeah, if I were to be, but then like you think about degradation, about like people who like get locked in a cage and like have to poop and pee in a cage, and like their masters have to like literally feed them or not, or they just won't eat. Like we're talking about real BDSM categories and subcultures that people subscribe to.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know what to say about it. It's like, does that mean you're fucked up? Does that mean you need to go to therapy and then you'll be rid of this, or is it just something fun and kinky that they just into? What's the line?
I mean, I don't know.
What's the line between kink or just something that you need to explore further because it clearly speaks on something else? Or should we just be like, it's a kink? And because it's kink,
because that's not something that I experience or am interested. I can't really speak to.
What is the weirdest kink you have that you're okay with sharing?
Being treated with love and affection,
which will never happen.
I know.
Anyway,
so anyway, let's get into the pioneers and trailblazer.
Well, we can't just wrap it up that quickly. I mean, any parting thoughts or like comments, any closing statements on these two topics?
Child pornography bad, and don't support Trump supporting porn stars.
You know what? And that is actually a more broader takeaway. It's just like, listen, sure, if they do race play and that's people are consuming, but the worst part is just like, oh, you're actively supporting somebody who is literally actively trying to like take away
your rights,
our rights, and don't think of us as equals.
Because it's and
ultimately, joke on you, the big C man, joke on you, bitch.
Well, also because it's just like to be in such a privileged place where you think that voting for somebody who is actively against, members of the LGBTQ plus community and like is gonna actively, do like instill oh my god, the Project 2025 thing.
If you're a townsperson, you're not aware of what Project 2025 is, please Google it and educate yourself, because you're gonna be gagged.
It's literally insane. It's like the whole point is to just basically
it's the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, it's like it's to try to bring in like a Christian, like heteronormative life.
And this is also not like QAnon or fake news. It's an actual project that has pages and they're accessible for people to read.
Yeah.
It's a part of the Republican agenda. This is no fake news. This is fact. It's happened. It's out in the open. So y'all, it's election season. Don't support people that are not gonna, are not looking out for your best interest, at least when you can. I understand a lot of people cannot really have the luxury to boycott or not support all of these things because we are in a capitalist country, unfortunately. So everything's blood money, basically. But do your best in supporting good.
And just if you're gonna support, and why support somebody who is actively who thinks that they're privileged enough because of their wealth that they're not going to be affected by these types of laws and things. It's like, no, mama, they're going to come after you too. Just because you have money and you are secure and you live in your nice expensive mansion in LA does not mean that they're not going to try to, first of all, like you and your husband that you do porn with, mama, they're gonna come after you.
They're coming for you, mom. They're coming for you.
Like, you're so naive if you think that you're safe in this situation.
And guess what? They're also coming for like every person you're collaborating with. Like, I don't know if you're like fucking even like doing. It's just gross.
Okay, so get off the soapbox, pioneers and trailblazers now.
Wow. Why can't I be on a soapbox?
Girl, I have to leave.
My pioneer is my new phone case. As some of you may or may not know, I lose my stuff very frequently. But this new phone case I got it on Miss Amazon. See, there I am again. See, back to reality. Bitch, you use Amazon too.
Barely.
But you still do.
The last time I ordered from Amazon, I literally cannot remember.
What will you tell them what you eat? What will you tell them?
Ass, dick. Actually, I don't eat ass.
Yeah, I'm a sister. Anyway, and it holds a cute little compartment thingy. It holds your wallet and your ID. And like, it's so good for me because I just have everything on me. I never lose my phone, and I'm so proud of myself for trying to make strides in me not losing things. So my pioneer is this great phone case for my new phone.
My trailblazer for the week is going to be the YouTube series Life's a Drag. I literally did not... have you heard of this?
I think I have.
It's literally I had not heard of this until literally yesterday when I saw a tweet for a clip of it, in which Plain Jane, it's a little reality docuseries about the Boston drag scene, in which Plain Jane is a cast member before she was on RuPaul's Drag Race, and the drama on this show, I think there's like maybe 8 or 9 episodes, and they're each like 30 minutes long, 25, 30 minutes long. Mm-hmm. It's so entertaining. It's so fucking funny. And it's like, my favorite thing though is like literally the biggest drama in like the most recent episode that I watched was that these two queens, they were gonna have, like, all the queens were gonna have dinner together at this restaurant, and these two queens show up 2 hours late. 2 hours late, and
that's not showing up, girl.
No, literally. And mind you, Plain Jane had already left because she's like, girl, I got a gig, I gotta go. Mm-hmm. And so she leaves, and then the rest of the girls are like, hey, thanks for showing up, you're 2 hours late. And then the one immediately goes, well, I had nothing else to do, so I thought I'd come. And they're like, what? Didn't even apologize. It's like doubles down, being like, yeah, I'm late. And they're like, I was getting ready. And then they're like, oh, it took you 2 hours to do this? And like, the drama and the cattiness is so fucking funny.
Move over, Housewives.
No, it's filling that Housewives itch that I have, because like right now, I don't know. I think Real Housewives of Dubai is airing, and I don't watch it because, no offense, it's boring.
Wow. No, you hating Dubai.
I tried watching the first season, and the girlies were not entertaining. I'm sorry, they didn't give what they thought they were giving.
We love Dubai. If you're a Dubai townsperson.
No, we don't. They're anti-gay.
Honey, a lot of countries are anti-gay.
Right.
India's anti-gay too. Do we hate on the India townsperson? Exactly.
We don't support Dubai, and we're not going to give to the tourism board.
I said we love, if you're a Dubai townsperson.
No, you said I love Dubai. We love Dubai.
Well, if they want to give me a sponsorship. Yeah.
Oh.
Fly Dubai Air.
Wow. So she goes sell out. Okay, you see, you the townspeople see.
I'll make amends and I'll make them change their mind.
Right, because you'll do that. They'll hear you talk and they go, actually, throw her in jail. Like, we take it backward. Actually, we hate this faggot. No, it's so entertaining. It's so fucking funny. Plain Jane, she's like tries to be a mean girl, but then anytime.
But this is before she became famous. So when was the shot?
This is pre Drag Race. So this is like a year before. This was filmed or like aired a year ago on YouTube.
But it's just airing now.
No. This like was from aired a year ago. Cool. So it's before Drag Race happened.
Maybe I'll give it a shot. Life's a drag.
Life's a drag. It's so fucking funny. It's so silly, and it's like they're always like to like drag the other girlies when they're talking shit about them behind their back. They're like, where are the bookings they speak of? She's not getting booked. There's no bookings. And it's just like, it's so funny. It's just like they're just talking about bookings over and over again, and it's just like, and I'm like, we're
gonna start doing that.
No, it's gonna I'm adding it to the vernacular, and then also my love. They say my love. But it's always like my love. Where's this booking you speak of?
Wait, I have to watch this.
It's really funny.
I want you after Sailor Moon.
No, and my favorite, I guess it's my favorite because again when
now you want to rant. I thought you had to leave, bitch.
I do have to leave, but it's so fucking funny because again this conversation they had with these two queens were 2 hours late. Then the one gets so upset that these girls were mad that she was late. She gets mad and she walks out of the restaurant and she's crying outside, and the other one who was with her who was late, who wasn't even invited to the dinner, she was like, fuck these ugly men in wigs. She's like, we're the two trans girls, and she's like, and we're better than them, and she's like, who cares if we're 2 hours late? That means nothing about our professionalism. It's like, yes it does. It actually means you're unprofessional. You had a call time and you shouldn't show up. It's so good. So please watch. It's on YouTube, so it's free.
Wow. Anyway, we will be going on hiatus like we said, so now more than ever we need your support. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you haven't done so, you can follow us on Instagram at Pioneers and Trailblazers, and on YouTube at Pioneers and Trailblazers if you're a visual learner. I did see, I'm not going to roast my townspeople, but as a town leader and God in this town, I will say...
God?
Well, that's my plan. I haven't told you about yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Separation of church and state, mama.
Okay, fine. But some people can ascribe to the God of Peru, the Church of Peru, if they want to in our town.
Oh, no, we're not going to... No cults in this town, please.
It's church.
Right.
I did see some of your girlies who are DMing us and messaging us and you guys don't follow us. So maybe you could. I'm just saying. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. Just up our numbers.
Okay, you can follow Peru at Hey Peru on Instagram.
I'm just saying.
And TikTok and at Hey Peru _ on Twitter/X. You can follow me, Nicholas.Rose on Instagram. Clownface on TikTok. I made a comeback. We might be posting more on there.
You did?
I did, but then I got muted.
Where are these bookings you speak of?
The video started to go viral, and then I got muted, and then I appealed. The appeal got rejected, and the video that I posted again, which was just word for word exactly the previous video,
flopped.
It flopped. And then everyone's like, wait, this is word for word. I'm like, yeah, I wrote it. It's a fucking monologue, bitch. I was like, it's a stand-up thing. I was like, and they're like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, girl, she's an actress. She knows how to perform. So anyway, so follow me there, or you can follow me. You can follow me at Clownface Bitch on Twitter/X. This was a long episode.
It was a long one, but you know what? Y'all deserve it. We'll be going on hiatus episode 52, but until then, just keep commenting, keep those things going, and we'll keep you all abreast with our things. And we'll see you next Monday. Bye.
That was a lot.
Damn.
God, that was a lot.
Damn. Yeah, because you wanted to talk about pride for an hour.
And you wanted to talk about fucking Austin Wolf for so fucking long.
Yeah, because it's an interesting topic that the people wanted to hear.
Uh-huh.
That's what the townspeople wanted to hear about.
Sometimes
so I wanted to give them what they wanted.
Well, what episode is this? 41?
45, bitch.
Oh, 45.